The rain hammered against the corrugated iron roof of my office, a relentless percussion that matched the throbbing ache behind my eyes. I took a long drag from my cigarette, the cherry glowing like a malevolent ember in the gloom. The name on the frosted glass read Jack Rourke Investigations. Mostly it meant finding runaway wives and proving paternity. Tonight it meant something else entirely. She walked in like a storm cloud, all curves and crimson lipstick. Lila Monroe, a name whispered in hushed tones in the back rooms of the Blue Dahlia nightclub, a place I'm not proud to have known. Mr. Rourke, she said, her voice a husky tremor, my husband is missing. Arthur Monroe was a prominent lawyer specializing in corporate mergers. Rich, influential, and seemingly untouchable. Lila claimed he's vanished 3 days ago, leaving behind only a cryptic note asterisk the lilies bloom at midnight. Asterisk. Midnight, huh? I grunted, stubbing out my cigarette. Poetic. Or trouble. Trouble usually found me. I took the case. The retainer was substantial, enough to keep the rent paid for a few months. And something in Lila Monroe's eyes, a desperate grimace I carefully constructed facade, convinced me there was more to this than a simple disappearance. My investigation started at the Monroe mansion, a gaudy display of wealth overlooking the city. The police had already been through, cataloguing every expensive trinket and scrutinizing every shadow. I talked to the staff, a tight-lipped butler named Jeeves, a nervous cook, and a young maid who seemed terrified of something she wouldn't share. All confirmed Arthur's disappearance, expressing their shock and concern. Jeeves was the key. He's seen too much, heard too much. After a bit of prodding and a discreet offer of a little something extra, he revealed a secret. Mr. Monroe, he whispered, he wasn't always a lawyer. Years ago, he was involved with some dangerous people. A smuggling ring, operating out of the docks. The docks. That's where the lilies bloom. My next stop was the Blue Dahlia. The air was thick with smoke and desperation. I found Benny the Blade Bellini, a low-level hoodlum who owed me a favor. He reluctantly confirmed Arthur's past. Arthur, Benny said, wiping sweat from his brow, he was good at moving things. Valuable things. Things that didn't always come through the front door. Bellini mentioned a name, Silas Thorne. Thorne was a big player, a ruthless kingpin who controlled a vast network of illegal operations. Arthur, it seemed, had been working for him. The lilies bloom in Thorne's garden, I thought grimly. I tracked Thorne to a warehouse on the edge of the docks, a sprawling concrete labyrinth reeking of salt and decay. I wasn't alone. 2 cops, Sergeant Miller and his partner, were waiting for me. Rourke, Miller said, his voice flat. What are you doing here? Looking for a missing lawyer, Sergeant. And I have a feeling you are too. Miller's eyes narrowed. This is a police matter. So am I interfering? I retorted, slipping past them into the cavernous warehouse. Inside, the scene was like something out of a nightmare. Men in dark suits, crates piled high, and a single spotlight illuminating a makeshift stage. And on that stage, tied to a chair, was Arthur Monroe. Silas Thorne was standing over him, a sneer twisting his face. Mr. Monroe, Thorne drawled, you're a little late to the party. What do you want? I asked, my hand instinctively reaching for the .38 nestled in my coat. Mr. Monroe made a little mistake, Thorne said, his voice dripping with menace. He diverted a shipment, a very valuable shipment. I understood. Arthur hadn't disappeared. He's been hiding something that had earned him Thorne's wrath. Suddenly, a woman's voice cut through the tension. Silas, this is going too far. It was Lila Monroe. She stepped out of the shadows, her face a mask of defiance. Let him go, Silas. He's done what you asked. Thorne laughed. Lila, my dear, you always were a naive one. Your husband didn't just divert a shipment, he stole it. And now, he's paying the price. Lila's eyes flickered to mine. A silent plea, a silent warning. She knew something. Something big. Then it hit me. The lilies. It wasn't a poetic allusion. It's a reference to a flower shop. Lily's Emporium, located near the docks. Arthur hadn't stolen the shipment. He's hidden it there. The lilies bloom at midnight. Arthur's note. It's not a warning, it's a location. I lunged forward, tackling Thorne's bodyguard. Sergeant Miller and his partner reacted. A flurry of fists and gunfire erupted. Chaos reigned. I fought my way to Arthur, freeing him from his bonds. Lily's Emporium, I yelled over the din. We need to go. We fought our way out of the warehouse, dodging bullets and punches. Sergeant Miller, realizing the bigger picture, joined us, providing cover fire. At Lily's Emporium, we found what Arthur had been hiding, a shipment of uncut diamonds, worth a fortune. Thorne had used Arthur to move them, and when Arthur tried to double-cross him, he was marked for death. But Thorne wasn't finished. He appeared with a squad of armed men, blocking our exit. A final showdown was inevitable. Then Lila Monroe stepped forward again. She pulled a gun from her purse, aiming it at Thorne. "You won't get away with this, Silas," she said, her voice cold and resolute. But the gun wasn't aimed at Thorne. It was aimed at Arthur. "You were a fool to trust me, Arthur," Lila said, her face contorted with hatred. "You thought you could play both sides, but I'm the one who controls the game now." The truth crashed down on me like a tidal wave. Lila hadn't been a grieving widow. She's been Thorne's accomplice all along, manipulating Arthur, manipulating me. She fired. Arthur fell to the floor, a crimson stain blossoming on his shirt. The police sirens wailed in the distance. Sergeant Miller and his partner wrestled Lila to the ground. Thorne, snarling with rage, was led away in handcuffs. I stood there, the rain washing the ground and blood from my face. Another case closed. Another layer of corruption exposed. But the victory felt hollow. I looked down at Arthur Monroe, his eyes vacant, his dream shattered. Lila Monroe, the femme fatale, walked away, her face unreadable. The lilies bloomed, but the fragrance was tainted with the scent of betrayal. As I walked away from Lila's emporium, I knew one thing: this wasn't over. Silas Thorne wouldn't stay behind bars for long. And Lila Monroe, she's still out there, a viper waiting to strike. The rain continued to fall, a mournful dirge for the lost and the betrayed. And in the shadows of the city, a new game was about to begin.